Hi, it's Dave here from the WebStorm team. Welcome to the third video in our series of JavaScript best practices, which will help you write clean, modern, and maintainable code. In this video, we'll focus on common practices that should be considered best practices for working with JavaScript. So first up, let's talk about equality. As not all computer languages are created equal. Well, at least they don't treat equality the same. One of the trickiest and most surprising behaviors in JavaScript comes from the loose equality operator. It performs type coercion, which means it tries to convert operands to the same type before comparing them. But there's a very simple trick to fix this. Add more equality. An extra equal sign makes it strict. Using strict equality helps avoid the unexpected behavior that comes with type coercion in JavaScript. It makes comparisons more predictable and reduces the risk of subtle bugs, especially when dealing with data types like numbers, strings, or booleans. It's good practice to always default to triple equals unless you have a specific reason to use loose equality and you fully understand its terrible implications. In JavaScript, the if statement implicitly converts the result of an expression it evaluates into a truthy or falsy value. This means that values like 0, empty string, null, undefined, and false are all treated as falsy, while other values like even strings are truthy. This implicit casting can sometimes lead to unexpected results if you're not careful. It's good practice to make the conditions in an if statement explicit, especially when the values you're working with might not behave as expected in truthy-falsy evaluation. This makes the code more predictable and easier to understand. So instead of relying on implicit type coercion, you can use explicit conditions. But if that's not bad enough, you can't always rely on built-in number type, as although it's usually good enough, as soon as you start wanting some decimal accuracy, it has a pretty nasty habit of getting you in trouble, especially if you work with financial calculations. And Jeff needed perfectly accurate results for his management report calculation. You may or may not have just cost the company millions. When precision is critical, such as in financial calculations, avoid using the standard number type for arithmetic. Instead, use specialized libraries like decimal.js or big.js that are designed to handle precise decimal calculations without floating point errors. Yours and Jeff's job is safe for another day. You're welcome. JavaScript has limits when it comes to handling very large numbers. The maximum safe integer in JavaScript is 900719925474091, also known as number max safe integer, or 9,199,254,740,991. Numbers larger than this may lose precision and produce incorrect results. This becomes a problem when working with APIs or systems outside of JavaScript, where big numbers, such as database ID fields, can easily exceed JavaScript's safe range. To avoid precision issues when dealing with large numbers from JSON data, you can use the reviver parameter of JSON parser method. This allows you to manually handle specific values like ID fields and preserve them in a safe format, such as strings. When working with JavaScript functions and object signatures often lack documentation, making it harder for other developers, or even your future self, to understand what parameters an object contain or how a function should be used. Without proper documentation, code can be ambiguous, especially if your object structures aren't clear. By using JSDoc, you can define the expected structure of objects, function parameters, and return types. This makes it easier for code readers to understand the function and also helps code editors provide better autocompletion, type checking, and tooltips. Everyone loves docs. Everyone. Another best practice is to use tests. Not only are tests a great way to check your child's aptitude for a subject, but they are also great for checking that your code still works as expected after you decide to explore the running trend of switching up the naming convention with Hungarian notation. Writing tests saves time in the long run by catching bugs early and reducing the need for manual testing after every change. It also gives you confidence that a new feature or refactoring won't introduce regressions. The fact that modern runtimes like Node.js, Bun, and Dino include built-in test runners means you can start writing tests right away with minimal setup. Testing tools like Playwright help you ensure the application works seamlessly in real-world browser environments, adding an extra layer of assurance for critical user interactions. And finally, the last best practice is to use WebStorm when coding JavaScript, especially because it's free for non-commercial use. Okay, now you're up to date with the best JavaScript practices. We hope this video was interesting to you. If you like this kind of thing, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next ones. And speaking of the next ones, check out our other video on best practices around using modern JavaScript in your project by clicking on this window. See you there.